Hey, I'm Jeff Baxter. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Understanding the Next Gen. I'm the Next Gen pastor at Mission Hills Church in Littleton, Colorado. I'm so glad you joined me today. I want to talk about sports today, coupled with adolescent development. Sports is such a huge issue. We could spend many episodes and many hours talking about sports and the impact it's having on kids today. I'm just going to scratch the surface, but I want to come at this from a layer that you might not have thought about before. I'm coupling adolescent development with this. So if you're not up to speed, go back to a previous episode where I talk about adolescent development and the task that they're trying to get through to become an adult. So let's go back in time, talk about sports. In 1938, this picture is the first Little League baseball team. It's boys and girls, ages 7 to 16. What else do you see in this picture? One of the kids is holding a ball, the other one's holding a bat. They're mixed ages. There are no uniforms. There are no adults. There are no coaches. It's not about them, it's about the kids. And so there's no adults there driving their agendas or telling them how to play or what to do. They're probably going to an open lot or a street in front of the house, setting out some bases, playing some baseball. It's not even called Little League. There are no sponsors on the uniforms that are paying for them to do anything or travel anywhere. They're just having a good time. And then you start to look at other pictures, and these kids are just having a good time playing sports, finding a ball and a bat. Apparently they smoke pipes too. Crazy. But today, they are tiny gladiators on the field. Adults are putting pressure on kids like never before. They have to perform to a certain level, and if they're not, adults are mad at them for not doing a good job. 6th and 7th graders are being recruited now by college teams if they're really, really good at their sport, and the pressure is turned up. I don't know if you've tuned into ESPN and the Little League Baseball Championship that gets broadcast every year from countries around the world, and 11-year-olds are out there playing, and it's like their whole lives are on the line at 11 years old. It's crazy. And there'll be this kid in the outfield who drops the last ball, and if he catches it, they win. If he drops it, the other team scores a run and they win. And this is true. It happened one year. The kid dropped the ball and his whole life was devastated. The whole team is crying and upset, and they've dropped to their knees in the middle of the outfield, and their pictures on the internet forever capturing these moments. It's crazy the pressure that adults are putting on kids today. And by the way, money is driving all of this, whether it's money for scholarships for college, or whether it's money for sponsorships, or whether it's money for ESPN. We're pressuring them to grow up way too fast. So we're not taking responsibility as adults to help them grow up to be kids. Of course there are great things with sports. Of course there are great things like character development and values and teamwork and achieving goals together. I grew up playing 3 sports in high school back when you didn't need to play it all year round, and I did pretty well. I get sports. I love sports. I think it's awesome. But times have changed because of the pressure that adults are putting on kids. Now parents are getting into fights at youth events, embarrassing themselves, embarrassing their families and their teams. Because why? Because they're 9 and 10 and 11-year-olds are it's not fair, or they're mad at the umpire or the referee or whatever. It's crazy. Sports has become this thing that's just changing the way adolescents are growing up. Let me tell you a quick story as an example of how things have changed. Everybody knows Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is probably the best athlete of all time on most lists, certainly the best basketball player of all time on most lists that are out there. But listen, if he grew up today, he never would have been a professional basketball player. Let me tell you why. When he was in high school, he got cut from the high school basketball team. There was no competitive league. There was no other place to go to. He didn't make the high school basketball team. There was no other place to go to play basketball and be noticed. There's no other lower division or other place. Now, he worked really, really hard between his junior and senior year to be able to make the high school varsity basketball team the next year, and he did, but he was cut as a sophomore. If he played today and was cut as a sophomore, he never would have made it. He never would have gone to a club team. It never would have happened. He never would have gone to play college basketball. He never would have become a professional athlete, and he certainly would have been the best basketball player of all time. Because today, scouts are looking at elementary age students. Scouts are looking at early high school age students to see if they're playing well or not. So adults are pressuring 8-year-olds to play soccer to get college scholarships, and when they don't, they feel this pressure, and it's devastating for a child. And then as they head into adolescence, middle school, high school, college, it's devastating on them too. So the system that adults have set up around sports needs to change. The pressure we're putting on kids way too young is out of control. We're burning out kids. I know many friends of my own kids who have burned out from their sport because they started way too early, way too competitively, with too much pressure put on them. So what do we do about this? Here's an action step for you, or a few. First, be the adult. Be the adult. You're the mature one in the relationship with your kids, as a teacher, as a coach. I mean, kids and adolescents are still growing up. Let them do it. Let them be the age that they are without this added pressure like adult responsibility put on an 8-year-old. Second, put yourself in the child or adolescent's place. Are they feeling pressure to perform? Is the relationship built on competition? Are they growing up way too fast? Are we causing them their anxiety levels to skyrocket? I can show you research after research after research that would say the answer is yes. Can they participate in a sport just for fun? Or do adults have to have their agendas attached to it? Let's help kids be kids, and let's help sports do what they used to do back in the olden days, where they built values and teamwork and achieved goals, but at the end of it, everyone were friends, good sportsmanship was happening, not this added pressure to perform and become a scholar athlete, hoping they become a professional athlete one day, when only like 1% of college athletes become professionals. The odds are very low. I hope this has been helpful to start a discussion on sports. Leave a comment below, chime in. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So take a look back at earlier episodes to catch up on adolescent developments so you can layer this with what's going on in the sports world today. Until next time.